Hello Summoners, and welcome to our very first video on our new Advanced Coaching series. The Advanced Coaching series is designed to improve your gameplay in the long run. We'll be targeting core issues that focus on the key fundamentals of the game, and it'll help you improve your gameplay a ton. If you decide to really soak in all the information we provide, I assure you that you'll see massive improvements to your rank at the end of the season. But just be aware, these concepts in the videos are difficult, so you have to be paying close attention for the entire duration. But if you do find this video a little bit difficult to follow, then please go to ProGuides.com, where we have all the courses designed to help you guys get better at the game. The topic that we'll cover in today's video comes from a psychology term that describes how people make decisions based off outcome instead of optimization. This is what we call results-oriented thinking. It basically means that if you use a certain strategy to win a game, you'll most likely repeat that strategy over and over again, even if it wasn't optimal. So now you're probably wondering, how does this apply to League of Legends? Well, when Dopa was asked what separates him from the other Korean Challenger players, he replied with this. Honestly, when I compare myself with other players, I don't see too many differences. However, as people play games, there are subsequent mistakes on their judgment and decision making. But I don't think that gap between me and other players is because of those mistakes. I figured something out in Season 5, and it goes like this. Ultimately, this is how you should be making decisions in a game. You have to look for optimal situations in every given scenario. Dopa here is talking about how results-oriented thinking affects even the best Korean Challenger players. To help make the concept even more clear, here's an example that he uses to explain his thinking process on how to look for optimal situations. Let's say that 4 of your teammates are defending a 5-man push in the mid lane. You're splitting the bot lane, and you now have 2 options. Either keep pushing the side lane, or recall and group with your team. The correct play in most scenarios would be to keep pushing the side lane and hope your teammates can defend the base against the enemy while also delaying their recall timers. However, this is where things can get a little tricky. A lot of players at this point would get the feeling that their teammates will get engaged on, so they recall and group with their team instead of taking the optimal play. But let's say that grouping with your team works out, and you eventually end up acing the enemy team and winning the game. This is where results-oriented thinking is the most dangerous. If this same scenario were to happen again in the future, then you would most likely make the same decision based on previous outcomes, and most likely not have the same result. Even if you have memories of a specific play working out, you can't always let your intuition cloud your judgment. This was just a simple example of how results-oriented thinking can affect a top laner splitting a side lane during the late game. However, as you become more aware of this thinking process, you'll begin to see it happening dozens of times in your replays as well. Nightblue even mentions this in his course on ProGuides.com. Results-oriented thinking can be a very dangerous situation for any jungler. So what exactly makes most of us become result-oriented thinkers? How do we stay away from it? It's mainly due to most players focusing only on the outcome rather than the process. When we finish a ranked game, the first thing most of us think about is our LP gain or our LP loss. At the end of the season, most people will only focus on the rank they achieved rather than focusing on their own gameplay. Many people don't smell the roses along the journey, they just want to see the finish line. So instead of watching replays and analyzing our mistakes, a lot of people instead take the easy way out and mindlessly grind hundreds of games. The best advice to stray away from this results-oriented thinking is to become more self-aware in-game. Keep asking yourself constantly, why did I make this decision? Why did I pick this champion? Why did I do this over that? Start questioning everything you do until most of your plays begin to make more sense, and I promise you, you will see improvements in your rank. Another question you guys might be having is, how are we supposed to know which play was optimal? How do we spot our mistakes if our thinking process deems something to be correct when it actually isn't? The short answer is, you don't. You're not supposed to know how to analyze your replays and spot out mistakes until you have an exceptional amount of game knowledge or have a ton of experience analyzing replays. On ProGuides.com, we do have coaches that can help you 24/7 analyzing your play for you. But another piece of advice we can give you guys is to try and analyze your friends' replays. It's much easier to spot out mistakes when someone else isn't playing because you see them from a different perspective. So if you have any friends, ask them if you can review their replay for them. You'll eventually get to a point where you can apply what you've learned from your friends' replays onto your own gameplay. Also, if your friend is good enough, why don't you ask them to do it for your game as well? On a closing note, just remember that results-oriented thinking is everywhere. Whether it's in a card game like Hearthstone, FPS game like CSGO, MOBA games like League of Legends, or even real-life scenarios at work or school. Once you realize how to correct your thinking process, you can apply it to your everyday life. A big reason why a lot of high elo players are able to transfer their skills from one game to the next is because they are very good at reflecting on their play and learning from their mistakes. So, in a way, results-oriented thinking is the biggest challenge you'll have to overcome in order to become a better gamer and a better person. If this video made you realize that you've been results-oriented thinking while on the Rift, don't feel too bad about it. Everyone does this. There are millions of people playing League of Legends with that same mindset. Just imagine how many of them would be affected by this but are unaware of the problem. If you guys got some value from this video, then please give it a like and share it. If you guys are interested in getting better at League of Legends, check out ProGuides.com, where we have the best guides from all the pro players and even a coaching service to help you guys analyze your own games. That's it for our very first advanced coaching video. If you guys enjoyed this and want to see more content like this, then please let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see our tier list next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Good luck in your next games, and we'll see you on the Rift.